What is up, noobs and noobettes? It's your boy Tingles and welcome back to another video. So today we actually received two new weapons in Infinite Warfare. One of them is an assault rifle. It is a single shot energy weapon, and if you aim down sight with this thing and stay aimed down sight, it actually charges up a stronger bullet, and this allows you to be a lot more lethal with that first shot you take. Keep in mind, this has a very limited range, and I'll go into this a bit later in the video. Now the second weapon is actually a revolver pistol, and didn't really know what to expect with these weapons, guys. Like, one of them's a single shot weapon, another one's a revolver. Like, they could be good, they could suck ass, so here is my honest review. Now, let's get it started with the pistol. To unlock this thing, you need to get 5 kills with any pistol for 20 games. That is right, so you need to get 5 kills in a match, and you need to do that 20 times. Here's the catch. If you get a kill with any other weapon in the game, it does not count. So you literally need to use the pistol from start to finish. Make sure you don't get 5 kills with that thing, then swap weapons, or else you're going to be disappointed like I was. I literally couldn't be fucked for this shit. I would get 5 kills and then just camp in the corner at the back of the map and do other shit, man. Fuck that. Fuck that. And in order to unlock the assault rifle, you need to get 5 hipfire kills with the revolver pistol, and you need to do that 20 times as well. I was lucky enough to get a variant of the assault rifle, so I didn't actually have to grind out those second set of challenges. But yeah, man, hopefully you guys have the same luck as I did. I actually unlocked the rare variant, and it changes it into a 2-burst weapon, pretty much like the RVN, except definitely not as good, man. It felt like it had a lot less range and was a lot weaker, so I didn't even equip that shit, man. Fuck that. Either way, so are these weapons good? To be honest, I don't fucking know, man. Like, they are so inconsistent that sometimes they're just OP as fuck. Other times it's just like, why am I doing this to myself? I'll tell you one thing for damn sure. The assault rifle is definitely not made for long range. Even though it is a single shot weapon, this thing sucks at long range, man. Put it up against any other assault rifle in the game, maybe except for the OSA, and you're pretty much losing that gunfight 9 times out of 10, man. You just get so many hit markers with this thing, and it is not lethal whatsoever. I know I said I was going to talk about the pistol, but calm the fuck down, we'll get to that shit, man. So yeah, this thing, I'm sure you noticed in the gameplay, and you would have saw it, the first fucking kill I got in this game was actually a 3-piece, man. I made this gun seem like it was just OP as fuck, and trust me, that is not the case. I would say it is definitely an average weapon. If you can stay in close to medium range engagements, and you have a decent trigger finger, then this weapon is definitely viable. But in my opinion, if you have an average trigger finger, and you're playing in a larger map, then it is not the weapon that you should be using, man. Also, I mentioned earlier that when you aim down sight, it actually charges a bullet up. I expected this to have a decent amount of range, and surprisingly, you can snipe people with this thing, as in one shot kill them. However, and check this out, it only works from about 15 meters away, man. This is really disappointing, and I would recommend not doing this on purpose. So if you're pre-aiming at an area and you just so happen to have that charged shot, then fucking awesome. And I made this mistake too, I would not go around trying to just aim down sight and wait for people to come out, because firstly, it's not lethal from that far away, and secondly, that shit takes ages, man. It is not worth it. Do not do that shit, guys. In my opinion, the charge shot is only useful when you're pre-aiming and it's just doing it automatically. You're not really aiming to do it. Either way, my honest review of this weapon, I would give it about a 6 out of 10. If you have a really good trigger finger and know how to use it, it can be a 7 to a 7.5. But again, that just depends on the person. Now, let's move on to the revolver. So again, didn't know what to expect of this thing. When I hear revolver, I always think really high damage, really slow fire rate, and that is exactly the case. So the thing about this pistol is you actually have a faster fire rate when you're not aiming down sight. And the reason for this is that your character can actually fan, I don't know what it's called at the back, the trigger or whatever. I'm sure it has an actual name for it, but yeah, and this is actually the case in real life as well. It allows you to shoot the revolver a lot quicker, and you guys definitely want to make sure you're hip firing as much as possible with this thing. Don't get me wrong, if the enemy is decently far away, you definitely want to be aiming down sight. But if you're in this weapon's optimum range and you equip laser sight, trust me, you should equip laser sight, then this thing actually isn't that bad, man. Like, depending on your luck with your hip fire, it's actually lethal as fuck. And to be honest, man, you can actually run around with this thing as a primary as long as you're choosing your gunfights wisely and as long as you're making smart decisions when you transverse the map. A big tip I have with this weapon is that if you hit marker one bullet, just aim down sight, man. Even if you're spraying with your hip fire, aim down sight, because 9 times out of 10 this gun requires 2 shots to kill, so you're better off aiming down sight and making sure that second bullet's gonna hit and getting that kill. You don't want to always rely on your hip fire, and again, this is just a situational thing, man. Depending on the gunfight you're in, you might be better off aiming down sight, even if it means a much lower fire rate. However, I would highly recommend never aiming down sight if you're within 10 meters of someone, man. Fuck that shitty ass fire rate. Obviously, if they're not moving or if they're not looking at you, then by all means aim down sight. But if it's a moving target or the enemy kind of knows what they're doing, man, you will not be successful aiming down sight with this thing. The fire rate when you're aiming down sight is ridiculously slow, and it actually gives me some levels of anxiety when I use it. I'm not gonna lie, man. But all in all, the new weapons aren't too bad, man. I'm glad that they're not OP as fuck like the models. And to be honest, I don't think people are going to be spamming these things. I actually haven't used the revolver as a kimbo. I'm pretty sure you can have it as a kimbo. I would imagine it might be a little overpowered, but I'm guessing the hipfire spread is going to be a lot larger with a kimbo, and hopefully people aren't spamming this shit, man. I'm just having fucking nightmares about people running around akimboing this thing and just fucking sniping me. So hopefully that's not the case, and hopefully we don't get a lot of aids from this shit, man. But yeah, that's my honest review, guys. I personally prefer the revolver a lot more. If you're not really looking forward to using either of these weapons, then honestly, man, I would highly recommend not even going for the challenges, guys. Just wait till you unlock it naturally in supply drops, like when you get one of their variants, and just use it when you get it, man. If you're not really that eager, then it's not worth the heartache. To be honest, they're not hard challenges, man, but 20 games, bro. Using a pistol for 20 games just to unlock this revolver that is only good at really close range. I don't know, man. It's up to you if you think it's worth it. In my opinion, it was not worth it, and I'm so glad I wasn't actually playing after I would get those 5 kills. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for my review, guys. In my opinion, the revolver is pretty beast if you stay in its range, and the assault rifle isn't too bad as long as you choose your gunfights wisely, man. These are very unique weapons, and you need to use them in a unique way, man. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy my review and the gameplay in the background. Honestly, guys, even though I did really well in this gameplay, man, don't think the weapons are that great. I actually played like 5 games, and this was the only game that was worthy of uploading to YouTube. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure you let me know your thoughts on the new weapons in the comment section below. Leave me a like if you enjoyed the video, if you like the new weapons, or if you love Atingleee. Either way, guys, that's pretty much it. I'll catch you all in the next one. Until next time, peace out, noobs.